Born in the city of Chicago, he rose to become one of the most respected musical icons of our time. He has left a footprint on the scene of American culture, music, television, film. The History Makers, the nation's largest African-American video oral history archive, is proud to present An Evening with Quincy Jones. And now to our host, veteran PBS TV journalist, Miss Gwen Ifill.
I couldn't be more thrilled or excited to be here tonight with a chance to interview Quincy Jones. Think about it. This man has done it all. Without further ado, please welcome Mr. Quincy Jones. Don't you wish you were me?
My God.
Where to begin?
You guys know how to mess somebody up, don't you?
So many years.
It's unbelievable. Backstage, I didn't know they allowed terrorists in here. I saw BB, James, Herbie, at Dallas. Jesus.
They let everybody in.
Ralph out there.
After all these decades, 6 decades almost of doing this.
It's pitiful.
It is. It's not pitiful. It's fabulous.
But Herbie and I have one thing, though, and we say we don't play that Mr. Hancock, Mr. Jones stuff.
Can I call you Q?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So tell me, Q, what drives you?
Life. Life and love.
In which order?
Well, love, naturally.
But there was nothing in your childhood to suggest that you would be doing what you're doing today. In fact, there were so many things in your childhood which argued against this.
Absolutely. We wanted to be the great gangsters because that's what Chicago was best at. Chicago, they groomed the best gangsters, black, white, green, or blue, whatever. Oh, Giacomo Capone. And my father, ironically, was a master carpenter, and he worked for the Jones Boys. You talk about the OGs, these were the triple OGs. Smart, beautiful, organized, structured, elegant guys. And I remember the biggest whipping I ever had was when I was at a birthday party when I was 7, and Eddie Jones, the boss of the gangsters, his daughter Harriet was 5 years old. She asked me to cut her hair a little bit, and I cut all of it off.
But you spent most of your time, your real growing up time in Seattle, which people do not think of naturally as being a wellspring of American jazz.
It was about half and half. I spent 10 years in Chicago. We left right after the Jones Boys were politely asked to go to Mexico. My daddy came by the barber shop and picked my brother and I up and said, no, you don't have time to go home and get your toys. We're getting straight on the Trailway bus. And we went to the Northwest because he was a Jones, but he wasn't a gangster. But that's all we saw. That's all we want, all we knew. And that's what we wanted to be. My stepbrother was pitiful. He was a serious gangster. But, and then we went to this unclaimed territory in Bremerton, Washington, the Bremerton shipyards. I said, man, we're going to waste this place. Because, you know, we're 11 years old or 10 years old, and we had seen all these professional gangsters working all this time. I said, we could tear this place up because they don't know what's going on. I remember our first big job, you want to call it. Clarence Avant likes to call them businessmen, please. Was we stole a carton of honey, bottles of honey, and went out in the woods and drank all that honey, and I never touched honey again for 20 years.
Tell me about lemon meringue pie and juke joints.
Right across the street from my house was the army camp with the barbed wire, 50 caliber machine guns, and there was a big armory next door that was our recreation hall for all of the whole community. And we had inside tracks on everything, you know. I'm telling you, we got our stuff together. And we heard that there was some lemon meringue pies being shipped in on Monday, and some chocolate and vanilla ice cream, so we were ready on arrival. And we broke in there and ate as much as we could, and we had pie fights. And I went and broke open the superintendent's office and saw a little spinning piano over in the corner, and we're getting ready to close the door because it really didn't look valuable to me. You know, I didn't know people played then. And somebody said, "Fool, go back." God's whisper said, "Go back in that room now." And I went back in there, and I slowly went over to that piano and touched it with my fingers. And every cell in my body said, "This is what you'll do the rest of your life."